Hey folks, today is Friday, September 27th, 2019. As usual, my name is Jake Baldino. I'm a little under the weather, but we gotta get through it because we got a lot of video game news to talk about this week. It's been quite a wild one. But before we start, I want to point something out. You might see to the side of this video a donation button option. That's because we here at gameranx, and you might see other YouTubers doing it as well, are raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So you can click to donate here during this video if you want, but also if you're watching today when this video goes live on Friday at 4 p.m., from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. roughly EST, we are going to be doing a live stream here on the channel, also raising money, doing fun stuff, giving away free games. So we'd love for you guys to come by. Tom and I actually got a chance to check out St. Jude itself, the actual hospital where they do research and where they take care of kids. And I am cynical, sometimes. And I was like, how much of the money is really going towards this stuff? But really, at St. Jude, it is crazy. They spare no expense taking care of kids and making them happy despite them going through difficult times. And I think that's worth it. That's why we are rallying behind this cause. So even if you chip in anything, 50 cents, it does go towards something good. And if you're up for it and you want to hang out with us later, like I said, go to youtube.com/gameranxtv, this channel here, because we're going to be live streaming later, raising more money. But let's just jump right into the video game news now and talk about The Last of Us Part 2, because whoo boy, that is a hell of a trailer, man. The PlayStation State of Play thing kicked off, and honestly, I don't think it was like the most exciting thing in the world, but we did get what we want, essentially, with a new look at The Last of Us. Not only that, but also a release date, February 21st, 2020. We've gotten some little bits of info here and there about like collector's editions and statues and backpacks and stuff like that, but little gameplay details, a more expanded skill tree with different abilities. Ellie has the option to jump now, but you can also hold the circle button and she can fully crawl. Previews out there described like a whole like stealth sneaking area involving like guard dogs and harsh winter scenes and riding horses. We'll link down some previews down there. We didn't actually get to see the game for ourselves. We weren't invited, but it does sound promising. I'm looking forward to it. I like a good old big cinematic single player game. That's what I'm here for, really. But we also got some information about The Last of Us multiplayer, which it's not a thing. There is no multiplayer. Now, to some of you that might not be a big deal, but to other people, it caused a bit of a controversy because the original Last of Us had a multiplayer mode called Factions, and it was really, really damn good, considering it was a time where so many games had shoehorn multiplayer modes. That one actually turned out to be pretty solid, and people were really hoping for another version of it here, and we're not getting it. Honestly, I didn't expect it. I saw like the media making it more of a big thing. I haven't seen too many people that jammed up because it does make sense when you think about it. Like if they're focusing their resources on just making a good ass single player game, that's what I want first and foremost. But believe it or not, apparently it was enough of a big thing for Naughty Dog to put out a statement themselves. We wanted to address multiplayer in The Last of Us Part 2. As we've stated, the single player campaign is far and away blah 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 blah. Wanting to support both visions, we made the difficult choice that The Last of Us Part 2 would not include an online mode. However, you will eventually experience the fruits of our team's online ambition, but not as The Last of Us Part 2. When and where it will be realized is still to be determined. But rest assured, we are as big of a fan of Factions as the rest of our community and are excited to share more when it's ready. Okay, so that's something. We know that they're making a multiplayer something. It's not really The Last of Us, but I'm betting that it's Uncharted Battle Royale. I'm sorry. But something that didn't drop during this PlayStation experience, State of Play video, they need to come up with better names for these things. Something that didn't drop was a new Batman Arkham game. Warner Brothers Montreal has been teasing symbols relating to some sort of, League of Shadows, Court of Owls, Batman-themed thing. Everybody kind of thought that it was going to be revealed during the State of Play, and we got nothing. I think we are going to finally get a reveal soon. Something, even if it serves as something more of like a Batman Arkham Origins 2, as opposed to Rocksteady's next new thing. I am very much okay with that. I really want to see something like that. I mean, it's got to be real, especially considering Scott Snyder also tweeted something about it, and then it got deleted last week. I just like Batman. It's been like a Batman anniversary this week, and I'm sure that's why they rolled it out. I'm excited to see where this leads. I want to hear from you guys in the comments, like what kind of Batman game would you want involving some of the elements that have been cryptically teased? Let's talk. In other news, I want to talk about VR news, goddammit. I don't care if you don't care. VR is awesome. Why am I coming on so strong? I'm sorry. No, in all seriousness, Facebook had Oculus Connect this week announcing what's next for the VR platforms. A lot of entertainment stuff, a lot of social media stuff, yada, 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 boring. But they did tout the fact that the Quest is selling very well, but not only that, they are working on hand gestures being a native thing, so the onboard cameras for the Oculus Quest and the Rift S will read and pick up your hands, and you can use them in-game. Apparently the tech works fairly well. It's still being worked on, and we're not getting anything really until 2020. Not only do hand gestures look like a nice, promising future for the potential of VR down the line, but we also got Oculus Link. This is essentially software enabling people who own Quests to connect it to their PC via USB Type-C and then play fully fledged VR games like regular Oculus Rift games. And I think that's huge because I have a Quest. I think it's fun. I think it's on-the-go VR that isn't like shitty phone VR, but it is a high-quality headset, and I have a gaming PC, and I would very much like to use it. And thankfully, they are going to be enabling that soon in the fall, and I am so excited for that. Not to be weird, but I think that makes the Quest a really good VR device worth considering, especially if we can tweak it and use Steam VR with it. But I digress. I'm going on a tangent. And before we move forward, this episode is brought to you by Skillshare. It's an online learning community for creators that we're genuinely down with. For example, maybe you want to work in or around video games? Well, like I always say, the internet is a great place to start. Skillshare has over 25,000 different classes to choose from in a bunch of categories, and if you're looking into making games and stuff like that, I can highly recommend checking out Digital Illustration with Jerome Vogel to learn Procreate and strengthen your digital creative skills to get started. But really, it's never too late to start learning something new, whatever it may be. Premium membership gives you unlimited access so you can try and learn whatever you want, and it's very affordable because you can land an annual subscription for under $10 a month. So here's the deal. There's this link right here. It's also in the description down below. You guys, our subscribers, can go to the link in the description below to get a 2-month free trial. Go check it out and go start learning something. And thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. In other news, just going back to State of Play for a second, we got a Call of Duty Modern Warfare campaign trailer. We finally got a look at the campaign. The campaign I've been talking up quite a bit, to be honest. It does look a little tame. It doesn't look like they're showing the crazy parts they showed me behind closed doors. Whether or not they even cut that stuff from the game, if it caused too much controversy, we're going to have to wait and see. But we got to look at a lot of cool sequences, a lot of realistic stuff, incredible graphics, and also Price, who is kind of rebooted and a little bit more realistic. Nobody wanted to believe me when I said that a couple months ago, but here we are. He also looks kind of doesn't he look kind of do you want to grab his little cheeks?
Like a daddy?
Like a little Price, a little lovable. He's like a teddy bear. I don't know. Is that just me? In other news, though, with Call of Duty, there has been some controversy surrounding a mode. So Spec Ops mode is sort of making a return, which is cool. I'm very excited for that. But one of the actual modes within Spec Ops, the offering, is going to be console exclusive, timed for 1 year. Survival mode within the Spec Ops is going to be just exclusive to PlayStation, and that's definitely jamming people up, and I think rightfully so. I think when it comes to modes like that, stuff like that people are genuinely down with, you should not fragment at all. That's a bummer. Guys, maybe please don't do that. I don't ask for much. I don't bitch that much, but come on. Next up, let's dive into some trailers that dropped this week that should be on your radar. We've linked them all in the description below, as well as everything else we talk about if you want to check it out. The first is a new world overview trailer for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. This looks ridiculous. This looks insane. How is this a video game? Are they going to make me play this game? I'm not an airplane nerd. I don't care, but this looks incredible. Also, another thing that dropped from the Oculus Connect is Vader Immortal Episode 2. It's available right now. We got a trailer for it, and if you are somewhat of a VR person or somewhat of a Star Wars person, I highly recommend checking out at least the first episode, because I really like that one. I'm playing the new one this weekend. And speaking of a Star War, we got a new trailer for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, a respawn joint. That's what they should call their games. It should say
of a Star Wars.
It should say a Star Wars joint when it comes up. I mean a respawn joint. This new trailer is fine. Honestly, it was a little boring just because it felt like the previous trailers, although we did get a better look at the Inquisitors, and I said Inquisitors because I believe they showed more than one, which is exciting. I liked what I played at E3. I really hope we get good Star Wars games again, but since we are on the subject of Respawn, they're also working on a VR game, and it's the last franchise you would have expected. They are making a Medal of Honor VR game, and it actually looks fun. It's called Medal of Honor Above and Beyond. It looks like it's like exclusive to the Rift platforms. It is EA published, obviously, but they seem to be in the background on this. I'm sure EA doesn't want anything to do with VR. But although the graphics don't look like anything crazy, playability-wise, it does look like it could be pretty awesome, and I think Respawn are the people to figure out something like this. Also, side note, they actually have the classic Medal of Honor theme playing in that trailer. I got really hyped. I did not expect that. But also linked in the description below is something I want you to see from somebody who is way smarter, way more creative than any of us. Somebody who is remaking House of the Dead 2 in Unreal Engine 4. He has a whole channel here. This is the user Moonglint, and he's just been uploading little test videos of what he's been making. And as someone who loves these games so much, these light gun arcade games, I think this looks awesome. This is so cool. So all we can do is keep giving him positive reinforcement. Keep going, keep doing your thing. I want this. Good job. Now, in other news, if you've been scrounging for information about the next generation consoles, be it Xbox or PlayStation, we have a new little tiny detail about PlayStation 5. Sony has gone on record talking about the PlayStation 5 and how they're working with the UN to, reduce carbon footprint and make action on climate change. But the big thing is that PS5 is getting a more efficient power save mode, which I use power save mode on my PS4 and every console, and I like that. So here it's going to be 0.5 watts apparently, and it's going to be an option. You have to enable for it to go into super low power save mode, but I welcome that. I'm curious to see how many of you guys out there actually use power save mode on your gaming stuff. I've met some people out there that are traditional or maybe superstitious, and they're like, no, I turn it off. That's it, over and done. I don't know. What about you guys? Also, did you guys see that the Fallout 76 Power Armor helmet got recalled? Oh my god! It's got mold in it. GameStop is recalling these devices. This is crazy. How much more can Bethesda screw up? Well, hold on a second, actually, because there's more to the story. Follow the updates here. Turns out that GameStop was putting out this Power Armor limited edition helmet that was like red. It was a Nuka-Cola themed edition. Apparently, literally in the report, like 30 people bought it. But there was issues with that, and that one specifically was recalled, not the Power Armor edition Fallout 76 helmet that everybody got, including us, that just kind of sits and gathers dust now because we don't play Fallout 76. So now you know, it's not as big of a deal, and it's not as funny as we would have wanted it to be. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it is what it is. Speaking of bad news, Frogwares has come out with some interesting allegations against their publisher, Focus Home Interactive. Focus Home Interactive, for those of you that don't know, publishes a variety of games, most recently Greedfall. But Frogwares are the developers behind games like most recently The Sinking City, that Cthulhu-style game that we also reviewed. And also they put out those Sherlock Holmes games, which are kind of busted but also funny. Apparently there is some sort of internal dispute going on, but Frogwares games are going to be delisted, and they've kind of went public with this because apparently there is some sort of unfair dispute between the two parties. Apparently last week, to quote PC Gamer, Focus told the developer that it would not be able to transfer content or title IDs because of a new policy that has put in place. Frogwares was apparently unaware of the policy and claims that it never appeared in any other contracts. So it sounds like it could be very much a dick move by Focus Home. I think it's important that if you do care about those games, or maybe you wanted to get one of them, jump in and get it while you can. Most of their games are down already, but the one that you can still get until September 29th is Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. That was the one that was actually really pretty good. So if that was something that was on your radar, you should go jump in now, because this kind of stuff is happening and it's bad. And I want to point it out because the whole digital ownership thing, the digital future and video game preservation and owning the rights to a thing, is just such a murky subject that people are still making up the rules, and this is a clear example of that right here. Not to end on a bad note though, of course we got to do that console giveaway we do every single week. You know how that goes. There's a link in the description below. You click it to sign up, you enter once, then you're entered for good, and then every single week we go in to randomly choose one person to win a free console of their choice. And this week's winner is going to be this person right here. Congratulations. Be sure to keep an eye on your inbox, your spam box, stuff like that, because we're going to be reaching out to you to find out how to send you your free stuff. But that's it. Let's talk about everything going on this week, from Sherlock Holmes games disappearing to Vader Immortal. Have you played it? What do you think about the new Jedi Fallen Order trailer? How do you feel about modes being exclusive to one platform? I think that's pretty bullshit. Also, The Last of Us 2. How you feeling on that trailer? I thought it was really kick-ass, but I would love to hear your thoughts, and I would love to hear your thoughts if you enjoyed the multiplayer from the previous game, because that takes me down a little trip down memory lane. Also, like I said earlier in the video, thank you to those of you who may have contributed to our cause, raising money for St. Jude. That is mighty dope of you. But also, if you want to hang out on our live stream later on, win some games, it's going on this Friday, the 27th, on the channel, 4 to 8 p.m. East Coast time. But that's it, guys. So thank you for coming around and watching us every Friday. Even if I'm sick as a dog, clicking the like button is the best way you can help us out. We would really appreciate that. And if you're new, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell, man, because we put out videos every single day. But, as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Pizza's on me.